Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was a Civil War arrangement of what is now known as our national anthem, but the Star Spangled Banner was not our national anthem during the Civil War. It was just a popular patriotic tune. It wasn't adopted as our national anthem until 1931. If you have, which I'm sure you have been watching the lectures today, and you've seen a lot of photographs and paintings, etc., and you've learned somewhat about Lincoln, but everyone knows of his famous Gettysburg Address. Well, when he went to deliver that address on November 19th in Gettysburg, the U.S. Marine Band went along, and the very first piece they played was Old Hundred. So our first selection will be Old Hundredth. When President Lincoln went to Gettysburg to give that famous Gettysburg Address, there was a chorus that went along of professional musicians. And the train ride went all the way from Baltimore to Gettysburg. And the whole way along, this chorus sang two tunes. One was Rally Round the Flag, and the other was We Are Coming, Father Abraham. This is a Stephen Foster version. There were 6 composers that put music to this poem. And this is the Stephen Foster version of We Are Coming, Father Abraham. And one thing I didn't want to leave out was when Abraham Lincoln arrived at Gettysburg at 11 o'clock, there were 15,000 people there. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, the citizens were still singing We Are Coming, Father Abraham on the streets outside his hotel.
We are coming, Father Abraham, 300,000 more.
President Lincoln was a real music lover, and it has been said in many books that he was found weeping many times listening to music. Um, if my memory serves me correct, I think President Lincoln went to 19 operas just during his presidency. I've got that somewhere in a book. It might have been less, but that's the number that sticks in my head. One of the operas that I'm sure of, I have the date, which I can't recall right now, that he went to see and hear was Norma, Bellini's Norma, the Costa Diva. And the first time I heard this piece, I couldn't believe the emotion that came through me when I heard it, and I was going to play it for a competition, so I thought that I would read up on the opera just a little bit to maybe I would be able to play it better, and even though it was such a moving piece. And of course, there's the normal in the operas. There's murder and romance, etc. But one of the things that really stuck out in my mind was one of the women in the opera was asked to kill two of her illegitimate children. And fortunately in the opera she doesn't do this, and it has a happy ending as far as that goes. But it really struck home to me because when I was very young, I had a cousin who was illegitimate, and she wasn't as fortunate, and she was murdered. And it really helps me play this piece, I think, better. But if you've never had any, I hope you haven't any type of tragedy like that in your life that you may think about as we play this, think of President Lincoln and think of all the you've seen these photographs and how hard that had to have been to send young men knowing to their death and everything he saw. So on this piece, I'd like for you to close your eyes and either think of maybe something personal in your life or what President Lincoln, what may have been going through his mind, because he did see this opera. This is the Costa Diva from Norma. Who can tell me what President Lincoln's campaign tune was in 1860? You'll probably be surprised. It was Dixie. Dixie was a favorite of the North and was actually written by Norther Daniel Emmett. And a lot of the Union soldiers marched to sing in Dixie, but a lot of people don't know that because eventually the South claimed Dixie as sort of their unofficial national anthem. But in truth, it was also a favorite of the North, and the day after General Lee surrendered, President Lincoln was asked to give a speech, and he didn't like to give a speech off the cuff, so at the second-story window, he says, I'll paraphrase, I couldn't quote it, but the South has claimed Dixie, we have recaptured Dixie. And he even consulted the Attorney General, and by all rights, he says, we own it, and he asked the Marine Band to play Dixie. So this is Dixie's Land. At President Lincoln's first reception of his first inauguration, to end the day, they played Yankee Doodle. In May of 1861, we have record of the United States Marine Band ending the concert at 10 o'clock with Yankee Doodle. Later in May, at the post office, they had a flag-raising ceremony, and to end the ceremony, they played Yankee Doodle. And I believe it was in August, Prince Napoleon came to the United States and was in New York, and he was invited to D.C., and to end that concert, they also played Yankee Doodle. So I think you've got a really good idea of our last piece of the concert. This is Yankee Doodle. Would you like to hear one more piece? Okay, then as an encore then, being that the painting is being displayed here, we would like to play Home Sweet Home. And before we play this, I'd like to say, please feel free to come talk to any of the band members. Do we have any CDs or anything for sale? No CDs, but we do have some autographed photos of the members. And we were in the Spielberg film Lincoln and National Geographic film Lincoln, and we also played at the presidential inauguration festivities this past spring. So they're only $10 for an autographed photo if you would like to have one. This is Home Sweet Home. Thank you very much for having us at this wonderful place. We hope to be able to talk to some of you. Have a nice day. This has been a great day for us.